So it feels like it's been a little bit quiet for Nintendo the past little while. I mean, we had the release of Princess Peach Showtime, but beyond that, what are we really getting this year in 2024? That's the question, and I want to talk about that topic a little bit here in this video because, again, this is something that I feel like, you know, upon looking even at my own channel, this channel right here, I realized I hadn't made a Nintendo video in like a month. And why is that? Because there just hasn't really been anything to cover, talk about, or anything like that. I did personally decide to skip on Princess Peach Showtime, which did release March 22nd, to be fair. And I skipped on it because I felt like it just wasn't resonating with me as much as I hoped after playing the demo. And just the mechanics felt very kind of shallow. And you could say that, yeah, well, the mechanics are kind of shallow in Mario. That is true. But again, just there's a different feeling and vibe that I just can't put my finger on. But that was just me. That's why I ended up skipping out on it. But beyond that, what do we really have for the rest of the year? I want to talk about that here in this video. If you do enjoy this one, by the way, be sure to leave a like, subscribe for more. We do a variety of Nintendo-based content here on the channel. It's a lot of fun. Huge Nintendo fan, and hopefully Nintendo announces something soon. Besides games, I do briefly want to talk about the fact that, you know, Nintendo did not mention, rather, anything about the next console, right? We've had rumors, lots of rumors that suggested they were going to announce something in March and that they were going to reveal something later on this year, and that, you know, maybe we're going to get an actual release date by the end of the year. But it seems like, again, based off of rumors, that internal word was that all got pushed off and that, you know, this new console's not releasing until next year. Meaning 2024 is a very boring short year. Kind of. But we do have a couple, you know, games that we know of that we can look forward to. But most of them are remakes and remasters, which are still exciting. It's just not, you know, necessarily new stuff. So first things first, we've of course got Paper Mario Thousand Year Door Remaster, which is seemingly one of, you know, most people's favorite Paper Mario game of all time. I'll be honest, I have never played Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, so I better jump into it with the remaster. I have watched gameplay of the original, and I love what I'm seeing compared to the original and this one, and hearing what other people are saying. But anyways, point being, this is going to be releasing May 23rd, 2024, and again, it's a GameCube classic that we're getting, coming back to the Switch, which we're actually going to be getting another classic as well, which we'll talk about in just a second here. But first, we also have Monster Hunter Stories, which is going to be June 14th, 2024. They decided to bring that over to the Nintendo Switch. It was originally released for the Nintendo 3DS back in 2017, and so now it's finally coming to the Switch. We had Monster Hunter Stories 2, of course, on the Switch, which was a lot of fun. I had a blast with it, and now the original game is going to be on the Switch as well. But I actually think it's going to be on other platforms as well, if I remember correctly, but we're talking about Nintendo here, okay? Of course, we have some other stuff, you know, Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance, you know, that's in June, if you're into that. Super Monkey Ball, Banana Rumble in June. But then we get over to the end of June, and we got Luigi's Mansion 2 HD. So again, another game that's getting kind of ported over. So again, we got, you know, Thousand Year Door, we have Monster Hunter Stories, and we also have Luigi's Mansion 2, which is basically an upgraded version of Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, which was originally released on the 3DS. Great game, a lot of fun. A lot of people love Luigi's Mansion 3 on the Switch, so it's really cool to be able to see that coming over to the Nintendo Switch, Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, that is. And they have confirmed there's gonna be some multiplayer potential, you know, whether you want to play online with friends or local co-op and different things like that. Beyond that, not a whole lot. I mean, we got indie stuff. We got like Hollow Knight Silk Song, which is to be dated, basically. Metroid Prime 4, which has been like, I don't know how many years now. It's announced back in 2017. So that's what is that, 7 years already? Wow, time flies. 7 years, and you know, obviously they announced that they're gonna, you know, they were restarting it all over again back in 2019. They said development was going to be rebooted. We got the first of the Prime trilogy, you know, that came out on Switch, you know, Metroid Prime 1 remastered. Could they bring a number 2 and number 3? I would assume so. I would assume that we're going to get 2 sooner than later, but when? Your guess is as good as mine. Of course, Pokemon Legends Z-A. I don't actually know how you're supposed to pronounce it. But anyways, that's also not coming till at least 2025. So nothing to do with that in 2024. So beyond that, we don't really have a lot going on. We have basically enough games to get us till June. And that brings us to the next portion that I wanted to talk about, and that is Nintendo Directs. We typically don't really get many main Nintendo Directs in April. We might get like an indie showcase or something like that, but most likely the next actual big Nintendo Direct that you can expect is probably going to be June, which kind of lines up perfectly with the release dates, right? If you've kind of noticed the pattern in the past few years, that the way Nintendo's kind of outlined things is, well, they'll start by announcing, you know, X amount of games coming out for, you know, let's say the first half of a year. And, you know, once we're getting kind of to the tail end of those games, then they're going to, you know, come out with another Nintendo Direct. They're going to announce more games for the next portion of the year. And that's that. So the big question is, when is the next Nintendo Direct? I would be willing to bet that we are going to see it most definitely in June. When in June, your guess is as good as mine. But there's always usually almost every single year, at least a big Nintendo Direct that happens in June. Now the question is, what can we see from this Nintendo Direct? I just mentioned Metroid Prime 2 Remastered. I think that would be great to see, right? We got the first game. A lot of people loved it. I loved playing it for the first time. I'm looking forward to playing number 2 and 3 for the first time, hopefully before 4 ever comes out. If it ever comes out at this point. So I think Metroid Prime 2 Remastered can maybe get a shadow drop in June, or that it's coming out, you know, not long later, maybe like a July release date or something like that. Beyond that, I'm not sure. Okay, there's been, you know, talks about a new Donkey Kong Country game. Is that possible? It is possible. That could be in the second half of 2024. We haven't really had an actual, you know, big Donkey Kong Country game in a long time. I think the last one was Tropical Freeze forever ago. So it's possible the Donkey Kong Country sees another installment, which I would love. I'm a huge Donkey Kong fan. I've been a massive fan of the original trilogy on the Super NES for quite some time. It's some of my favorite games ever. I would just be really, really excited about that personally. The other thing that I think a lot of us are hoping for, at least I've been hoping for quite some time now, is something Zelda related, right? So we didn't really get, well, actually, Tears of the Kingdom. When did Tears of the Kingdom come out? Hold on, I forget when it came out. That was already a year ago, almost. That's crazy how time flies. So Tears of the Kingdom came out May 12th, 2023. So the question is, you know, we've been getting something Zelda related almost every single year on the Switch. And yes, Hyrule Warriors does count. It's Zelda related, so it counts. And since we got Tears of the Kingdom last year, what can we get this year? Well, people have been dying to see Wind Waker HD and Twilight Princess HD get ported over to the Switch. Why? Because they're great games. They're some of my favorite games of all time. Twilight Princess is my favorite game of all time. So can we see those games get ported over to the Switch in the second half of 2024? I mean, judging by the fact that we've seen nothing for Zelda in 2024 yet, judging by the fact that we've seen a pattern of something Zelda related every single year since the Switch has come out, and the fact that they've pretty much confirmed there's not going to be any DLC for Tears of the Kingdom unless they change their minds and they say, surprise, Tears of the Kingdom is getting some DLC, then maybe that is a possibility. So if that doesn't happen, and considering the fact that almost every single major Wii U game, first party, has been ported over to the Switch as of this point, except Tears of the Kingdom, not Tears of the Kingdom, Twilight Princess HD and Wind Waker HD, it would make sense that those two games would show up at the tail end of 2024 sometime. Maybe it ends up having some kind of like, you know, maybe August or September release date, maybe a little bit later, I don't know. And that can maybe push a few extra Switches out right before they announce their new console in 2025, hopefully. So those are my thoughts. You guys let me know in the comments below. That's what I think is gonna take place throughout the rest of 2024. That what I think is plausible. Beyond that, like I said, like I keep saying, your guess is as good as mine. Can we see a new Kid Icarus game, for example? I mean, maybe that'd be cool. We haven't seen a Kid Icarus game in, you know, since what, the 3DS, I believe. So that is a possibility. If there's any other games that you think that we could possibly see in the second half of 2024, I want to know down in the comment section below, whether it's a game that I've already mentioned, and you just want to kind of reiterate it, reaffirm that that's something you'd like to see, or if you have another idea, let me know in the comments. Again, if you enjoyed this one, leave a like, subscribe for more. I wanted to kind of talk about this because I realized, man, things feel a little bit slow right now. And what could we expect moving in the second half of 2024? Again, keep it locked for more, my friends. Thanks for watching, and until the next one, game on. We'll see you guys soon.